No, you're fine. Maybe that'll say. If I hit. Nice. Thanks. Okay, we're live, I think, right? Yep. It is 9 a.m. here in Los Angeles. It is Wednesday, the 14th of January, AD 2026. We do have Punchy TV happening today, an hour after American Anchor Baby ends. All right, so do join us on American Anchor Baby. I mean, on Punchy TV. Well, Anchor Baby too. But oh, here, let me see. How many chats do we want to do today? Switch to live chat, by the way, y'all. Let's do one super chat in whatever amount of colors in, I don't know how long. And let's do 2 hours, even though I'm not going to go full 2 hours. And nice. But the views expressed here do not represent Bond, JLP, Hake. I don't even represent myself, you know? I don't know what I'm saying. So don't hold me responsible. I'm not responsible. And info may be false, all right? Info is oftentimes false. That's not my preference, of course, obviously. But Hake news is sometimes actually fake news, so relax. Take everything with a grain of salt, especially with your own thoughts, because you guys misinterpret a lot. Maybe, well, I don't know. A lot of people you do. The squeaky wheels do, anyway. What else? You're welcome to call in 888-77-JESSE, 888-775-3773. And you're also welcome to super chat in buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. We're looking at San Onofre cliffs, dirt cliffs, by the way. They crumble and collapse and landslide like crazy. But nice, very nice beach scenery, nice day, SoCal. Watch out for the Tijuana River water, you know. It's a mess. But, oh, here, let me make sure that I'm unmuted properly. You're also welcome to Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/The Hake Report. Somebody gave a coffee, and I got some tips on Rumble. What is up, guys? By the way, American Anchor Baby is scheduled on Rumble. Let me just paste that into the Rumble chat just so you guys can remember to see it, check it out. I'm live on all my platforms, it looks like, I think, including pilled.net. What is up, everybody? Let me go first for American Anchor Baby, by the way. I like to be first. Me first. You're not, as in kindergarten they say not to do that. Not to say that. But anyway, y'all, let's just get right on with the show.
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
Here we go!
Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report. The Hake Report. La la la.
So, how y'all doing? I am fine. I got my beautiful facts versus truth t-shirt on. Sometimes I'm facts, sometimes I'm about truth. I guess, I don't know. Or am I? Sometimes it's about the facts, sometimes it's about the truth, and sometimes the facts are the truth, and sometimes the truth sometimes the facts are not the truth. And that's the fact. and it's true. And so you can get yours at hake.printify.me. It's a nice boxy tee. I like it. It's which one is this? Is it Gildan? Not sure. It'll say if you go check out thehakereport.com and click on the stores page thing, I'm a Bob, or if you just do what you want. So hey guys, facts versus truth. Hake.printify.me or thehakereport.com. And there is still the old Teespring link. Show off your guns, Hake. What these guns? Nice. I would like to get to Haden in Texas on the line over here. Haden, thank you for calling and holding here. What's up, man?
My brother Hake, how's it going, man?
It's going well. Thank you.
No, I heard the caller after me yesterday talk about that Renee Good, correct, in Minnesota. That's her name.
Yeah, Renee Good. It was a good shoot.
And yeah. Well, he was saying that he was the guy from New York. Do you remember his name?
Oh, yeah, not offhand,
after
but yeah, he called in toward the end of the show. Yep.
Yeah. He had a good call and everything, but
Yeah.
he was saying that he was happy that people were protesting for a white woman.
Oh
and all
yeah,
this
yeah,
stuff.
right.
I think it seems like, and you can tell me whether you agree with this or not. They're just using her to they're trying to make her into the left, the liberal version of Ashley Babbitt. That's all this is,
Yeah.
They're using just like they did with George Floyd in 2020, and they were trying to spin their story around just to try to win people over to be against ICE.
Kevin,
that's all it was.
Kevin from New York.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Right
Kevin
after your call. It was not the end of the show. It was the end of the first hour. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
He had a great call.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's all. I mean, I wouldn't be too happy about it because I mean she was she was the typical.
It was
white
the wrong.
liberal.
Yeah, it was the wrong kind of white. She was
Exactly.
not a normal white.
Exactly. And she was a part of. She was a part. They're all a part of the same side. The communist.
Yeah.
Liberal, LGBTQ pushing narrative, all that stuff.
That's right. Totally.
So yeah, Kevin in New York, great call, but I wouldn't be too happy about it if I were you.
Yeah, don't fall for it. Because it is about
Yeah.
good versus evil. Right on, man.
Yeah, exactly. I thought I had one more thing I wanted to talk about from one of your calls yesterday, but I can't remember off the top of my head.
Was
But
it? I have here Trump's comments about civil rights.
yeah. That was separate from the
okay.
one of your calls yesterday. Did you see what he said about the civil rights about 2 days ago to a New York Times reporter? I'm pretty sure it was.
No. What do you say about so-called civil rights?
So apparently he said that civil rights has hurt white people. It's like, for example, it's harder for white people to get into colleges because colleges let people of color in based on their skin, which is true.
Yeah.
And Trump actually came out and said that. People, I won't say their names because they're your competitors, but even your right-wing competitors have even confirmed that he did say that to a reporter. So.
Wow. Yeah.
Isn't it awesome?
2 days ago, New York Times reported Trump says civil rights led to white people being, quote, unquote, very badly treated. It says DEI and civil rights policies hurt white people, according to USA Today, and the USA Today, of course, extremist anti-American, say, do they? NAACP says Trump being deceptive about history after reverse discrimination remark. They call it reverse discrimination. Trump, the Independent foreign outlet, says white people being treated very badly due to civil rights protections. New Republic, Trump says civil rights cause white people to be very badly treated. Nice. The NAACP, they're trying to say Trump is deceptive about history. The NAACP is deceptive. It's total commies. Accuse Trump of being what they are, deceptive.
Yep.
What a mess.
Yeah, exactly. See, I found that newsletter on Revolt, which is another black, you know, a black dominant page. It's like a pro black page or whatever.
Okay.
And they actually had a quote from him saying exactly what he said to the New York Times reporter. So I thought that was amazing when I saw that. I didn't know if it was legit or not because there was no audio of him actually saying it.
Right.
But I mean, like I said a few minutes ago, even your right wing competitors are even confirming he did say that. So
yeah, totally. That's cool. Nice.
Awesome. That shows we're trending in the right direction, right?
Yeah. Right on, Trump. It's been kind of mainstream to say it actually, because there's been like people on Fox News talking about it. Well, that one guy who's been anti-DEI, so that is a good thing. It's not quite calling it a genocide yet, which is what it is, but because it's more than just this law about thing. There's a broader culture, and you probably noticed it growing up. I definitely noticed it growing up. This anti-white hatred and malice and disregard, pure evil. Nice.
Yep, exactly right. May of 2020. That's when I woke up during the George Floyd riots everywhere across the country. That's when Haden from Texas woke up.
Yeah.
No, but one more thing actually. Did you? This is I don't know. Probably, I want to say this was in like October or something. But I want to see if you saw this or not. Did you see Elon Musk's father on CNN? I think I'm almost positive it was back in October. And he was on CNN, and they were asking him about how he felt about whites becoming a minority in the United States. Did you see that?
I did. JLP covered it on his show.
Yeah, I'm sure y'all did.
Yeah, and he said that it's a disaster or something to that effect, and they were pretending like that's such a bad thing to say. It was a true thing to say.
Yeah, everything he said was correct. He said, do y'all really want to return back to the jungle days? He actually
right.
said that.
Yeah, that's funny. And
the reporter, of course, he was a CNN, white liberal reporter. And he was all offended that he said that.
Yeah.
a white reporter was offended that he said that about another group of people. And that,
I know. And there's
that's brainwashing to a T.
It really is. I don't know if you ever catch the American Anchor Baby, but he was discussing, the immigration problem that's been going on for a long time and this diversity that's infected a lot of the white countries. And this guy, Alan, I think, from Michigan, or Alan from Ohio, maybe. I forget. Different from our Alan from Michigan, not our Alan from Michigan. Right. But he was calling it a nothing burger. He was saying that whites and this French philosopher and all these people were saying this, predicting this, and it turned out to be a nothing burger. No big deal. Not a problem. And it hasn't destroyed these countries. I'm like, that is that. I don't know if it's dishonesty, but he's certainly repeating lies, and he's blind.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There was this compilation on X, because people are noticing the what their agenda is and everything.
Yeah.
The white genocide and everything. There was a compilation that someone made on X, and there were a lot of really good clips that were included in the compilation. But one of them that stood out was on Jimmy Fallon's show. Am I allowed to say that name since he's a late night host?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just making sure. He said for the first time that white he was live on TV saying this. He said for the first time white birth rates were going down, and the whole audience started applauding.
Wow.
I mean, that is just pure brainwashing, indoctrination, and pathetic.
Yeah, it really is.
They were just. That was just one clip, though. I mean, there were several, like news, even Joe Biden saying, that he was for immigration and for. This is when he actually had he was aware of what was going on. I think he was vice president at the time.
Yep.
And he was saying that he was fine with immigration and whites being replaced. I mean, it's just sick.
Yep.
It is truly sick.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm glad people are waking up and acknowledging it and calling it for what it is,
They're for it because they're for evil. They're for the Democrat Party. They're for the communism. And they know that whites don't fall for that per capita as much, The whites are the only ones who are standing in the way of it. And even how we were talking about white liberals, even the white liberals are not as extreme as usually as the POC liberals or the anti-white, not normal whites,
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
So, interesting, man. Crazy.
I know. I wanted to see if you're updated on all that stuff.
Yeah, thank you for the update. I hadn't heard about Trump saying that. Right on. Our greatest president.
You should read the quote. It's pretty good. Like what exactly he says in the to the reporter. So
right on. I shall
cool.
check that out. Let me see if I can pull that up. Is this bad to do? Archive.is, and then you see if it's. Let's see. What is this thing? I want to search for snapshots just to see if I can find it. Yeah, everybody archives the New York Slimes because nobody wants to pay for the New York Slimes.
Yeah,
President Trump's comments.
They're so far left.
Yeah. It's so bad. So I disclaim this. I don't know if it's okay to do, but it's doable. But anyway, President Trump's comments were a blunt distillation of his administration's racial politics, which rest on the belief that white people have become the real victims of discrimination in America. Indeed. Indeed. Everybody's a victim, really, of it, because it's not good for when they get, oh, look, Erica L. Green, a black female White House correspondent.
Did she comment on it?
No, she's the one who's reporting from Washington in this New York Times article from January 11th. President Trump said in an interview, speaking to the New York Times Wednesday, Trump echoed grievances amplified by VP J.D. Vance. How is it 2 days ago and it was Wednesday? What are you talking about? January 11th. Oh, last Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Okay, so asked whether the protections that began in the 60s, spurred by the passage of the Civil Rights Act, resulted in discrimination against white men, Mr. Trump said he believed a lot of people were very badly treated. White people were very badly treated where they did extremely well, and they were not invited to go into a university or college, he stated, apparent reference to affirmative action and college admissions. Quote, so I would say that in a way, I think it was unfair in certain cases. It's such a reasonable, self-restrained comment. They're acting like it's a headline grabber. I think it was also at the same time it accomplished some very wonderful things. See, he's being so gracious. But it also hurt a lot of people who deserve to go to a college or deserve to get a job were unable to get a job. So it was reverse discrimination. Is that the comment that you were talking about?
That was it.
During his campaign for president, Mr. Trump harnessed a political backlash to the Black Lives Matter and other protests, saying there was a, quote, definite anti-white feeling in this country, unquote. And he joined his base in denouncing what he deemed to be, and I don't like this word, but he uses it fine. He's a boomer. Woke, quote unquote, policies.
Yeah.
This is a black word from the 20s or something. Merit-based, which is a white preference, which is a white ideal. Interesting. Yeah, right on.
Yeah, that was a great quote. I appreciate you. Yeah, I thought that would be good for for everyone to hear because I mean, I'm glad he's waking up. He's improved a lot since when he first came into politics, 2016. So
yeah, he's gotten probably tougher. Probably
Definitely.
smarter, wiser, more experienced and ready for things. And I've, ever since mid-2015 when he announced and he didn't back down, I've really appreciated him. And you just see his realness. He's it's just good attitude and a real attitude. It's like Scott Adams,
Yep.
just a real guy
Exactly right.
who loves everybody. Yeah.
He was a lot more inclusive in 2015. Hugging the pride flag and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
All that mess.
Right. That's funny, man.
And do you know the left's response to him saying that about civil rights and white people? They're saying he's unwell. He's in serious decline. Just a bunch of name calling, just to make it seem like you don't know what he's talking about. That's all they got.
Right.
That's all they got. Just name calling, trying to spin the story about that woman in Minnesota. I mean, they are completely hopeless when it comes to policy.
Totally.
And I hope that voters see that and vote Republican in 2026 in the midterm. So.
Yeah, man. Right on, Haden. Appreciate you, man.
Same to you. Have a good day, Hake.
All right. Take care. Haden in Tejas, Texas. Let me talk with Ryan, a caller out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Brian, I mean, not Ryan. I was used to calling you Ryan because forever we understood you to be saying, or misunderstood you to be saying Ryan, R-Y-A-N, but it's Brian, B-R-I-A-N.
Yeah, it's Brian, but when people say it, though, they believe it's Ryan, though.
Yeah.
Start with a B.
B-R-I-A-N?
Yeah, that's what it is.
All right.
B-R-I-N, you're right.
You spelled it the white way, or your parents spelled it the white way, too. Impressive.
The white way. Come on, man. Stop
No,
talking
I
like
said
that.
white way, not right way.
Oh, the right way. Yeah, the right way,
too.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, that works for me.
NOLA, N-O-L-A, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Yeah, what's been going on, Hake? I haven't been able to call your show because I've been working a lot.
Right on. Happy New Year. I'm glad
Happy
you got
New Year
in
to you,
today.
bro.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. So, like I said, I want to carry on the conversation like I had on yesterday at work, and I wanted to know is that why is all this stuff is coming up now since Trump got back in office? We'll be talking about the same stuff today if it hadn't Trump gotten in office, or why is stuff coming up now after all these years?
I know how you feel. And which stuff are you referring to?
All this stuff that Trump is now talking about, that we got to end DEI, we got to end up this black discrimination thing.
Yeah.
All the stuff you were talking with the last caller with, talking about that whites couldn't even go to college. Man, all that's bull crap because all these years, anybody who wanted to go to college could go. Just like everybody else.
They could go to college, but they couldn't necessarily get into the college that they wanted because the college that they wanted was preferring people who were less competent and less accomplished, but more black or more non-white.
Man, look, man, I don't buy it like that, though. I mean, anybody can go. Anybody can go. Anybody. It don't have nothing to do with race.
Yeah, huh?
I mean, like, I want to bring this up to you.
Have you heard all this? Have you heard all of this chatter? Did you hear all that chatter when Obama got elected? Oh, the first black president. There was this excitement about electing the first black president.
And who brought that up?
Huh?
And who brought that up?
White liberals and Hispanic liberals. I specifically remember a white liberal female former classmate. Ooh, don't. I feel like you're giving me germs.
I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'm getting over cold.
We'll get well,
But
man.
anyway.
But I remember an
Well,
Hispanic friend of mine, he said, it's time. Or something like that. It would be historic. No, the white female, I guess she's white, said, oh, it's time to either get a black man or a white or a woman, with Hillary or Obama, right? I was shocked to hear her say that because she's a Christian. And then my other friend, he said it would be historic. And even my dad said that he was tempted to vote for Obama in the booth because, of the brainwashing about history and a black president, all that chatter. So imagine if the notion of Obama being the first black president had some pull. Everybody's all about the diversity mess. Just because you and I don't fall for that stuff doesn't mean that the normal, I say normal very loosely, A lot of people fall for that.
Mm.
Yeah.
And that's another thing too.
Yeah.
If Obama was pretty much unfit, how come he could do his full 2 consecutive terms?
Wait,
If he was very much unfit
if he was what?
as president. If he was unfit as president,
Yeah.
how come he did 2 consecutive terms?
Because the media covered up how unfit he was. They propped him up, and people used to believe the liberal media.
Like I say, all that was brought up after the fact.
Well, a lot of us were complaining. It depends on what world you're living in.
We wouldn't be talking about this. We wouldn't be talking about this. Now, come on, bro. We wouldn't be talking about this if Trump would have been in office.
If Trump were not in office?
If Trump would have lost the 2020 election.
Some of us would be talking about it, but yeah, you're right. That wouldn't be the dominant conversation. Trump has changed the conversation to talk about real things rather than fake things that Democrats want to talk about, like voting rights.
But you still crying about he couldn't win the 2020 election. And then he was threatening people if he didn't win the election that he just won. He was complaining about that.
Yeah, and he hasn't let that one go, and he's getting proven to be right, I think.
What?
He's getting proven to be right, but I'm glad that he, quote unquote, lost in 2020, so he can come back stronger and more ready now, because we have him now. If we had kept him in 2020 to 2025, or 2021 to 2025, then we would be stuck right now with whoever succeeds him, and whoever succeeds him is going to be lame, unless it's our future president.
So I'm thinking that you're buying everything that you want to put in play.
Who, Trump?
You buying everything? Yeah, you're buying everything.
Pretty much. Ronnie in Ohio told me that he wants to send billions of dollars, or is already, to like Argentina or somewhere to help rebuild them. Which I don't know if I'm on board with it or not, but if Trump is doing it, I trust him. It's better than giving us welfare to destroy our own country, because welfare destroys. Yeah, go ahead.
So tell me this.
Huh?
Are you ready to send the country forward, or you want to send the country backwards?
Depends on which way is the best way. Sometimes it's 2 steps forward, and sometimes we need to take a step back.
So how did you feel about it? Now you're gonna make me get like that. You're like your little coworker now. How you feel about it?
I feel great. I feel wonderful. I feel good.
No, but what way you want it to go, backwards or forward?
I want it to. It depends what you mean. What do you mean backwards or forward? I don't understand.
I mean, like he's just like I say, the Project 2025. You know, that's all about taking a country backwards. So you want to see the country go backwards, or you want to keep it going forward?
I want to go backwards on some things and forward on other things.
Because you want to bring back all the presidents, right?
Other presidents? No.
No, yeah, no. I said you want to bring back all the race wars.
No, I want to go back to when we didn't have race wars.
You want to go back? So he all right, we're gonna say
no, but there is no such thing as backwards, really. Because you're only always going to new times. New times, same as the old times, or whatever.
So what you think about taking away some of the policies that we got in play right now?
That would be really good. That would be a really good move to take away.
I mean, as far as BAI, he just reverted that back.
Right. That's a good thing.
He took that off the table.
Yeah, that's good. That's better, because then it's fairer. There's less resentment. There are people who are bitter and complaining and stuff like that, and there's people on many sides who are bitter and complaining. But you get rid of that evil, unfair kiss-up policy, then eventually, if you get rid of DEI and affirmative action, there will be no more cries of, oh, that's just an affirmative action black, you know? And wouldn't that be nice? That's just a
I'm not.
DEI mayor, you know?
But really, when a DEI mayor, ain't no such thing as a DEI mayor.
Well,
You can
I
either
say
be
there
one.
is.
You can be either two things, black or white. It ain't even got nothing to do with no DEI. You can either be black or you can be white. That's it.
Well, there's also Hispanic and Asian. And then there's
Okay, you can be
Indian.
that. You can be that too.
Yeah. Nice.
I mean, that's all I'm trying to get at.
But
But anyway, I'm nice talking to you again.
yeah, you as well, Brian. In NOLA.
All right, then, as always.
All right.
Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
All right.
Bye. And let me get to Ronnie out of Ohio. Ronnie, how you doing, sir? Come off of mute there, buddy. All right, wait, did I put you on? Oh, I'm such a boomer. Oh, Lord. Ronnie, what's up, man?
It was you. I'm like, I ain't the one tripping. What's going on, my brother?
How you doing, man?
All is well. How you doing?
Doing fine.
Good. Your boy Haden called in and brought up a topic that led me to a question that I have regarding white people being the minority, specifically here in the United States. What's the concern? What's the problem if that happens?
That will become even more dysfunctional, a la South Africa.
Who will become even more dysfunctional? White people in America or
No,
the United States?
The whole country.
Sounds like you're in your imagination.
It is. It's totally imagination, but you can also see it coming. You can see the examples of it already. Look, for example, at the Flint water crisis. Imagine in America, Flint, Michigan, a well-known city, town. They did something with their water pipes and water and stuff, and it made it so that for months, maybe even years, the water is no good. The water is not good to drink. It's brown.
Who did that? Black people did that?
I don't know, but this is like a result of that. It's like an example of what you can expect more of.
Poor infrastructure materials is the result of white people getting closer to being a minority in the United States.
Oh, yeah. That stuff is going to fall apart. They don't do things like maintenance, professionalism, cleanliness, high standards. You'll notice...
Who doesn't do that?
When you have a DEI culture where you're catering to the different races and not to the best, even the whites will lower their own standards. So it's not just going to be
white people lowered their standards, and then
white people are even going to lower their
minorities.
standards. I'm not blaming it on the minorities. I'm blaming it on, in part, it's the minorities, but I'm blaming it on the DEI mindset. When you
think the DEI mindset is why you think that's why white people are trending towards being a minority?
One of the examples. What do you think of all this immigration? That's a DEI mindset. This so-called Immigration Act of 1965 or whatever, the Hart-Celler Act, that was a DEI mindset, and that contributed to the demographics changing, whites becoming closer to a minority.
What is the issue or the problem if white people become a minority?
The country falling apart, as it's already begun to do.
Okay, so you're scared that, or not scared, I shouldn't say scared, you're afraid or you're concerned that if white people are no longer the majority, because they'll still be a bigger demographic group than all other races individually, but you would have to combine the other non-white people under the non-white umbrella to say that white people are a minority.
Yeah, we
might be the country's gonna fall apart.
We might be the plurality, but you can already see the country falling apart, or can't. Maybe you can't, but We can already see
I
the
don't.
country falling apart.
I don't see the country falling apart.
Right.
The country that survived the Great Depression, the
you can
country
just
that
leave it at
survived the Civil War, the country that survived the War of 1812, the country that survived 9/11. I don't think that the thing that takes the country down would be white people being 49% or less of the population.
You can just leave it at I don't see.
Well, I can't see what your imagination is, and you've already pointed out that it's all imagination.
No, I
So
didn't.
no, I don't see what's happening in your imagination and the imagination of others. I don't see that as being the downfall for a country that survived the Great Depression, World War II, the Civil War, so on and so forth.
Okay. Yeah. Right. You can't see.
I don't see.
Right.
You
do not see.
You won't be able to show it to me just because it's your imagination. There's no tangible evidence you could point to me to help me see. You won't be able to help me see something in your imagination that, one, isn't happening, and then two, will lead to a problem of the country falling apart, even though the country withstood all of the other adversity examples that I gave you.
All of those things were major hits on the country. Very
Definitely.
destructive. Yeah.
Definitely.
And it didn't. The
which
country.
is why I'm saying,
and it's debatable whether the country really survived those things.
It's not debatable.
Yeah, it is.
President Trump just got elected to be the president of the United States in 2024. If the country fell apart before 2024, he wouldn't be the president of the United States.
How do you figure that?
He would be the president of the Confederate, or he would be the president of something else, but he's not the president of something else.
You're a Christian,
he's the
right?
president of the United States.
You're a Christian, right?
I'm not sure how this ties to the topic. And
I'm
identify as a Christian, but I don't identify with other Christians.
Yeah, so like among the Christians, there are Christians who are Christians in name only. Too, America can be America in name only. There are Christians and normal people who are alive. They're living, their body is living, it's functioning, but they're a shell of a man. You've heard that term, a shell of a man. They're living, but they're not really, they don't have life. And life more abundantly. So too, America can be destroyed largely, right? Gone, not coming back. And yet, still on the outer appearance, which is what you look at, still seeming like everything's fine. Nothing burger. All is well. We're surviving.
So that's not the lens I'm looking through.
Right.
I'm not looking at it from do things feel good. The thing that makes America America
you chalk
is the
life
Constitution.
you chalk life and the country up to feeling good?
No, I'm saying America is America not based on how I feel or how you feel or how Uncle Jesse thinks the country should be going or what our culture is. None of that stuff makes America America. The thing that makes America America is the Constitution.
Oh, Lord. Cringe.
And as long as that is intact, the country's not going to fall apart. Now, if we decide to try to replace the Constitution with something different, then we could run the risk of not having a country anymore.
You can quote unquote have a constitution, but have it disrespected and misinterpreted all over the place. Just like people have the Bible, and the Bible is intact, but it is misinterpreted and interpreted to mean the opposite of what it says, like crazy. Mm-hmm. So you can take your whole little constitution and shove it up your nose. Don't tell that to people, kids. It's rude.
I won't do that. But you're right, because the Constitution could be disrespected or treaded upon,
which
and it could be misinterpreted, and it could be misinterpreted as well. And the founders, the great thing about the founders is they knew that. That's why we have Article 2 and Article 3, so that the Constitution can be enforced, and then we can have ways of interpreting it. And then even if we need to make changes to it, we got Article 5 for that. So again, the Constitution is what makes America America, not you feeling good or people being happy about what the religious composition is or what the demographic is and who's the race that's the leading the population. That's not what makes America America.
I'm glad you have so
And
much
that's
faith
not my
in it.
and that's not my imagination. Also, that's
Yeah,
something
it is.
tangible.
I'm glad you have such faith in a piece of paper when the people are a mess.
Piece of paper.
Yeah. Shout out.
You call the Constitution a piece of paper.
Yeah.
Imagine somebody trying to reduce the Bible down to a bunch of pages.
It is.
But it's not.
But it is. Why did you call Hades Haden? I mean, Haden Hades.
It happens sometimes.
No.
I'm not perfect.
Don't play
I'm not
innocent.
perfect. I'm sorry.
Why'd you call it? That's not what I asked you.
Nah, honestly, when it comes to him, it's really a sad story. I know he's on the younger side, and he does not fit my definition of racist or being a racist ignoramus. He's more of a product of a bunch of racists who have dominated that part of the media. So they poison his mind, and this is the result that we get. We get a young white man who thinks that his skin color or his race or his heritage is truly something significant, and it's not.
Hades, king of the underworld, not to be confused with the god of the dead, Thanatos. Ancient Greek religion and myth, eldest son of Titans, Kronos and Re, and brother to Zeus, Poseidon, pardon me.
Yeah.
Hestia, Hera, Demeter, and Chiron, or something. Lord of the dead, greatly feared by the Greeks. Wow. Had few temples or shrines dedicated to him. Married to the goddess Persephone. Persephone.
Yeah.
Daughter. How do you know all this Greek stuff? It's all Greek to me.
You didn't take Greek mythology?
If I did, I didn't pay attention.
See, yeah, I went to high school in the United States of America, so we had a background for learning a lot of stuff about the ancient history of the white man.
I'm tempted to
Greek
say
mythology falls right into that.
I'm tempted to say I went to. Did you say high school or school?
School. I did all my schooling here in the great United States of America.
Oh well, I didn't. I went to school in the People's Republic of California. I'm kidding though, because I actually really liked and respected all the schools and most of the teachers that I went to. It's just that in history, I'm like, why cover something that happened when more stuff is just going to happen, you know? And why cover the geography when it could change, you know? Like, what if we go to a different planet? Or what if, this thing changes, these borders change, and, stuff is just going to change. Give me math. Or whatever. Anyway,
understood. Yeah, some people had their
that was not a thought I
preferred, and then
they
had the language. I mean, they had not the language. They had the class that they enjoyed, and then they had those other classes where they were like, "All right, I'm going to go to sleep for about 40 minutes."
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah, but I was all locked in when we got to mythology. It was interesting, especially being a Christian, to see the different mindsets of people around the world on how they explain the sun and the moon and the rain and how Earth got here and how people got here. So it was always interesting to see what they thought. Not so much for who's right and who's wrong, but just learning the differences.
I wonder who wrote these things originally. Who came up with these stories that they that became myths? You know, because that's a lot of that's a pretty. They have like the whole they have all these characters. It's so crazy. And they weren't even like real, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. To see if you'd have paid attention in class, you could have asked your teacher that.
Shout out to the Greeks. Where are they now?
Yeah. Shout out to the teachers, kids. Pay attention to all your teachers. Don't pick and choose all your subjects, kids. Pay attention in math, pay attention in history, and make sure you learn how to read and write.
Yeah, don't listen to those thoughts and be like, oh, this doesn't matter. Because those are thoughts. And
yeah, Hake and I, we were born in the 20th century, so
that's right.
It was a different time.
Well, right on, Ronnie. I appreciate you, man. Take care.
Yes, sir. Take care. Have a good one.
All right. Rick in Hampton, VA. Rick, how you doing, sir?
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How about you? Nice to hear from you early in my show.
Yeah, You too, man. You too, brother. Shoot, thanks for taking my call, man.
Of course.
Man, I was comment on what's that the conversation we just had with the caller in front of me just now.
Not Ronnie?
It was yes, it's right from Ohio.
Yeah, Ronnie from Ohio.
Okay, yeah. I was saying, man, you don't want whites to become the minority.
Yeah, that's so true.
It's like blacks and brown people, they can't build nothing.
That's right. And you know what?
You notice that?
I have. They don't tend to build. They don't tend to maintain. They don't tend to have like trustworthy and high standards and self integrity.
Trash be everywhere.
Yeah.
You see poverty at its best. It's just being truthful, man. It's like even in Africa, when them kids go to school, like when they go to college, they have to go either to the European nations or Dubai or Japan or Australia to find work.
Right. They're fair-minded per capita, right? You know, maybe not in necessarily a good way, but they are forgiving, fair, treat you well, generous, and again, those aren't necessarily good things, but they're nice things, and so and if you don't take advantage of them in the wrong way, you can take advantage of them, of being around them in the right way.
Right.
And it's good for
it's
good for civilization.
Yeah, it's like we just all the cities blacks run are ran down, high crime ridden, trash everywhere, abandoned buildings everywhere.
Yeah.
Look at Gary, Indiana. That's my original hometown.
Really?
And when you go there, you don't even have a Walmart. And it's sad we don't have a Walmart in your city.
Did the Walmart close down, or they never opened because of all the crime?
Well,
they didn't want to.
I don't think they ever opened it up. Overrun up in Walmart.
Yeah.
They got to go to another city in the county to go to a Walmart.
Yeah. Yeah, because a lot of businesses, both big businesses and small businesses, they can't function when you have a culture of crime and a culture of let these criminals get away with stuff. It's so crazy. We need broken windows police.
You remember they had that self-checkout there, James?
Yeah.
They had to shut that down because too many people was walking out the store without going through the scanner.
Yeah.
And paying for it.
Yeah. We can't have nice things because everybody's stealing. You know, in Japan, I was listening to Zenny in Canada, and Bill, our engineer, the co-host, one of the co-hosts or guest co-hosts of Punchy TV, he was talking to me privately about how in Japan, very different from China, Japan, they have these stores where nobody's manning the store. You go in, you check these things out, and you pay for it, and then you leave. Well, there's other people who've come into Japan recently, and they go in and leave. And then there's these Chinese people who come to Japan, and they stand in the middle of the street in the way of everybody, inconsiderate, where Japanese are more considerate. That's their culture, more civilized, make things function well. But they have a problem where you can't have this high trust society that just works by itself. You know, libertarian type of a government would be possible where little to no government because the people maintain themselves. You can't have that with all this crime and distrust and dishonesty.
You cannot.
Yeah.
You know, and it's sad. And you know, everybody worrying about that's all he wants to do anyway is get rid of white people, get all these immigrants and stuff. And you can thank liberal white women, liberal black pastors, and liberal black civil rights workers for all that mess.
Yeah. So true, man. And you know what's funny is, as I'm thinking about the fact about stealing, white people are the least likely to steal. And then they accuse the whites of stealing, living on stolen land. Stolen land. Communist phrase. Communists are totally in favor of stealing. They don't care about stealing. They just want to pick and choose and accuse falsely people of stealing and murder when they're the ones who are thieves and murderers.
Well, I tell you what, if that's the case, James, you got a lot of blacks enjoy living in stolen land in that case, then.
I'll tell you that. Yep.
And because I tell you what, once I go to Africa and live there, you talk about maintenance. Africans don't even believe in maintenance.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like even in slavery time, when it's just like, okay, Haiti got their freedom, but yet they didn't know how to build anything. They didn't know how to run nothing.
Yeah.
And that's basically what they did. You know how you, like, if you're on a plane, you beat the pilot up, the co-pilot, and the engineer. You kill them, and then after you do that, you say, "Can anyone fly the plane?" You see what I'm saying, James?
Yeah. Talk about counterproductive, shooting yourself in the foot.
Right. And can no one run nothing?
Yeah.
That's how you go. A lot of black cities that are led by black mayors, they either try to turn them to a socialist city, or they raise taxes on you so darn much that people can't afford to even stay in the city.
Wow.
Look at Chicago.
Yep. Totally.
I'll tell you, if that mayor wins by a landslide, I know them elections got to be rigged, man.
Wait, which elections now in Chicago? There's elections coming up?
When it's time, when they got us to elect the new mayor. If Brandon Johnson wins as mayor by a landslide, it gotta be that them polls are rigged, man.
Maybe, but you don't. I mean,
but then again,
I wouldn't put it past anybody to cheat. Go ahead.
I'm saying, when it comes to black voters, they go voting right in.
Yeah, true. Because people are that much of actual suckers. It's crazy.
Did you hear about the black pastors in Chicago? Brandon City, Chicago raised taxes, and they gonna stand in front of Trump's towers and protest. How the heck? That's counterproductive. What the?
Come close to your phone. You're getting kind of muffled and like you're speaking into a pan.
Can you hear me now, James?
Yeah, I think that's better.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And in Chicago, and they raised taxes on them when they almost can't even afford the taxes. They gonna stand in front of Trump Towers in Chicago.
Well, now your phone is kind of bad again, man.
What about now, James?
That's much better. Thank you.
And they're gonna blame Trump for raising their taxes in Chicago. All them officials, they elected them. How you gonna blame Trump for them raising y'all taxes?
Yeah.
That's insane, man. You can't be that. You can't be that brain dead.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, hey, I'm starting to believe that too, James.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because you can walk around blind and destroy your life, not really paying much attention. So I think that you can be that much of a sucker that you fall for it, and you keep on voting the people who are destroying.
And then they had the black pastors going up. They're going over there protesting in front of Trump's towers, part of the Iron Triangle. The black Black liberal pastor. Yeah, it's called the Iron Triangle.
Huh.
You have liberal white women. You have black politicians. Black liberal politicians and black liberal pastors, and then black liberal civil rights workers. They all work together. You keep blacks in a victim mindset. Depending on the government.
Yeah.
They all work together.
That's true.
So I call them the Iron Triangle.
Okay. And who are the three of the triangle again?
Yep, the Iron Triangle. The liberal black pastor.
Okay.
The liberal black politicians.
All right.
And the liberal black civil rights workers.
Okay. Yep. The activists.
All of them.
The religion. That's
policy.
true. They're surrounded by liberalism.
Yep.
Communism. In their religion, their fake religion, in their fake leaders, the politicians, and their fake activism. Interesting.
Yep. And then your white liberal women. And then also you just throw in all your other liberals.
Yeah, totally, man.
But them are the main ones when you talk about the black land cities. That's the Iron Triangle, man.
Yeah. Interesting. Thank you, Rick. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Well, that brother James. I will hit y'all tomorrow. Love you guys, and thanks for putting all the information out. Hello to my brothers and sisters that's all listening. Love you guys. Y'all be blessed.
All right. Take care. Bye. Ken in Illinois on the line over here. Ken, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
Hey, what's up, Hake? How are you, buddy?
Going well. Doing well. Thank you.
Well, the guy before me said everything I was going to say, so it's hard to say something now. I know he said everything. But the guy before that was talking about, you know what he said, you know, he seemed like a kind of cool guy, but everybody should be, if you're in a country, okay, it's just like going to Africa and tell them, you should be worried about the Chinese people overpopulating you. You shouldn't worry about that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so when he says whites shouldn't be worried about being replaced or, you know, being a minority, and wherever, if you went to Spain and you told the Spanish people, see how black people think, man, it's just unbelievable how they think to me. If you went to Spain and said, you're going to be the minority, Spaniards shouldn't say anything. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. Wherever, you know, your country is, Africa, Spain, Italy, every nationality that was there before anybody came should be worried about being replaced or being a minority. See, only a black person would say something like, whites shouldn't be worried about being a minority in their own country. It doesn't make any sense. They always say things. It doesn't make any sense. It's like an emotional, feminized emotion.
Yeah.
Because wherever you go, wherever you go in this world, you know, if you went to Africa and said, oh, the Chinese are going to, you know, they're going to send all the Chinese people over here and run y'all off and overpopulate y'all, but you shouldn't be worried. The Africans would be like, yeah, we're worried. We don't want to be the minority in our own country. So
Yeah,
like,
because the people coming in, the people coming in don't even believe in the Constitution. You know how Ronnie said, you have your Constitution.
When they make a statement, it's like it don't make any sense because wherever you are, you do not want to be the minority. It's like, that don't make any sense.
Right.
Like I said, if you go to Africa, Asia, if you went to China and said, okay, well, we're going to bring all these Africans over here, and we're going to bring the Indians over here, and we're going to replace you, and we're going to, you know what I'm saying, to make y'all the minority, China's going to say, hey, wait a minute.
Right.
We're not putting up with that. What are you talking about? So the whites in America should say the same thing. It's like when a black person says something, it's always like the whites should just bow down and take it up the rear and not say anything. And if you do, you know you're a racist, you're a bigot. What's wrong with you? That doesn't make any sense. They say things that don't make any sense because they always want white people to take a back seat, to bow down and to give up a great nation. You know, and that doesn't make any sense to me. It shouldn't make any sense to anybody. But only a black person can come up with a mind concept to say something so idiotic to me.
You think so?
Say something like that. Yeah, it's like these don't make any sense. And another thing, if you let blacks run in, you can look at Chicago, Detroit, Miami. L.A. Anytime you let black people run things, it's going to turn into chaos, hell. It's going to turn into they're going to tear down everything. They're going to ruin everything. They're going to destroy everything. You know, it's just like it's in their DNA and their culture. And the reason why is because the iron triangle makes sure they stay in that mindset. You know what I'm saying? They're not responsible for their actions. They treat them like little retarded kids. You know, and they and blacks don't really want to work. I've been black for 67 years. Okay, if you look on the TikToks and who's complaining about working? It's always the black. You know what I mean? I never see anybody white complaining about working for Amazon. All I see them doing is working, paying their bills. But black people, really, most of them just don't want to work. You know what I'm saying? They just don't. It's just like in their DNA because they take this plantation mentality that was given to them by the black preachers, the black politicians, and the black civil rights. Because all these people make billions of dollars off of their suffering and their ignorance. You know, that's really what the truth is. You know, so when you think about how they talk sometimes, people like, do they really listen to what they say? They go by their feminine emotions and say that everybody should just, just let them take over and destroy everything, and just go along with it. It's like, but that doesn't make any sense. But if you look at if black people took over, yes, everything would be a ghetto. The whole world would be a ghetto. Okay. If they were able to take over heaven, if you went to heaven, you'd be like, man, there's a ghetto up here. I don't believe it. You know what I'm saying? So they would turn everything into a ghetto. That's what they would do. So
that's what Obama did.
Yes, that's what they all do. What you mean?
Yeah.
That's what all the Democrats, all the liberals, they all turn it into a ghetto, which there's no survival, there's no jobs, there's no replenishing anything, there's no growth. Did you realize that I feel like that most black women that have children, if it wasn't for the law, they wouldn't even send their kids to get educated. They would all go back to your room, watch some cartoons. I don't feel like getting you. Yeah, I don't feel like getting you dressed. I don't feel like doing your homework with you. They were just watching the society just be destroyed to where there would be no survival whatsoever.
Yeah.
Everybody would die in agony and pain and suffering, and that's all what would happen. If all the whites left the United States right today, okay, then there would be nothing here in a year. You come back, most people would be dead. Obese, drugs. There would be no medicine. There would be no food, and the warlords would take over. The drug lords would take over, and the preachers and politicians, they would have people drinking muddy water and a disease and pestilence. That's all what would happen. That's it. That's just the truth. And I don't hate black people. You always got to explain this, because anytime you tell the truth on black people, you always have to say, make a bit, say these things that that not true. Like, I'm saying this because I want things to change. That's why Jesse Lee Peterson said he exposes all their evil, wicked ways and their ignorance, so we want things to change for the better, for the future, and for the world and for the country. But every time a liberal hear that, because they don't want to change, okay, then they decide to come with these words like racism. That's one word that excuses them for being so ignorant and lazy.
Yeah.
And then they've used it so much that it just means nothing. To them, it means everything. That word, it's like it gives them false power. You know what I'm saying? But to the rest of the world, they've used it so much that it just means absolutely nothing. Nothing.
Yep. Crying
but to
R.
them, when they said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Crying racism. Crying the R word.
Yeah.
You're like Trump
It
said.
doesn't change
Oh,
anything.
you're
Listen,
racist.
I want
You're
to ask
racist.
them, does it change anything? Protest using the word racism, it doesn't change it. It benefits the little few at the top. The rest of the blacks still suffer, living in ghettos, living in poverty, no jobs, horrible education. It changes absolutely nothing. They like to use it like it just got power. It has no power. Listen, all you blacks listening right now, and the guy to call, it has no power. They make you think it has power. It has no power.
Right.
It's just a word that's been used and abused. Word used and abused, and right now it means nothing. So, but that's all I had to say. I don't like to hold everybody up. And
Thank you, sir.
Hey, on the crew. Sorry about that. All right, take care of yourself, hey.
All right. You too, Ken in Illinois.
All right, buddy. All right. Bye.
Brian in North Carolina is on the line over here. Brian, thanks for calling, sir. What's up?
Yeah, I just want to hop in with the previous callers and caveat of what they were saying. Y'all talking about if black people, were to take over, America would be a ghetto, but America would be taken over if black people took over, because all they do is beg and claim that they're victims and fall into words like the N-word to take advantage of weak people. And yeah, that's really all I had to say.
That's true,
Everybody
man.
else pretty much beat it already.
And it was already beginning to be taken over, even when it was run by the people who kiss up to black people, the rhinos and the Democrats, the George W. Bushes, the Mitt Romneys. Not that he was running the country, but he was part of the people running it into the ground. The John McCain, the Clintons, the even Ronald Reagan kind of helped destroy with the, he made the mistake of doing the amnesty thing. It was being taken over. Whereas Trump, a man like Trump who pushes for what's right, he has a vision for changing things for the better and making America stronger. And you have to take some major steps to make America stronger, because America is very vulnerable and weak and corrupt right now. And so he's making changes, and guys like Elon Musk and those guys, they're going after the fraud and abuse and just exposing stuff. That's like the best of the whiteness, you know?
Right. Who's gonna do that, right?
Yeah.
Who's gonna go after the fraud?
Right. They're gonna participate in the fraud and be like, oh, it'll be fine.
I can't think of any time in my life where I've heard of someone really going after fraud.
Yeah, me neither, actually. They pretend to. They'll be like, they'll go after Trump for his business records. Oh, no one is above the law. And then they just look the other way on all the Minnesota stuff and be like, oh, nothing's going on. They'll participate in it. And it's so crazy because there's this communist mindset. You know, when a big store like Target gets stolen, they get stuff stolen. They're like, oh, you're simping for a big corporate company. They can absorb that. They get insurance money for that. And they don't really consider the fact that that's destructive. That money is coming out of somebody else's pocket. So it's all around a loss, because the guy who's the thieves aren't making the world better for themselves or anybody else. The company is not getting better. The community is not getting better. And then the insurance company, if their insurance company is involved, is not getting any better for that. So it's a huge loss. And then there's the cleanup, the law enforcement aspect of, you have to spend all this law enforcement resources on stuff. They act like police didn't exist until the slaves started running away. If that were true, then that tells me the white society is pretty low crime and takes care of itself.
That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But, you know, man, I don't know what else to say about it, man. But you made me think about Donald Trump and his presidency, and just like what we've been able to see with him working and doing his job, even from like first year, like you guys were talking about earlier, his improvement and just how he's handling things much better.
Uh-huh.
And what it makes me think about is like a president is not like this expert on something, or, you know, the person that has like the most of anything like materialistic at all. Trump is showing that a president is someone who has the right attitude.
Yeah.
Just point blank period. Just end the story. And that's all anybody in this world needs, is the right attitude.
That's true.
And I think just to get back to the initial point with the black people, I think black people have just been given far too much in this country, and you know, now to the point to where they're comfortable stealing.
Yeah.
And God bless America, and God bless Donald Trump, and hopefully we can get it back on track to where, you know, this is going to be the country where that quote unquote dream of freedom in the world and having your own is still there, because you can have whatever you want in this world, but you're going to earn it.
Right. True.
And I love what's happening right now, man. All over.
So do I, man.
Trump.
You know, this Venezuela thing, that takes to do a move like that, you have to make sure that you are capable, that your military is capable, whoever's doing this. And then you have to have the guts to take responsibility for the move. If anything goes wrong, that's a gutsy move for Trump to make them do that and go get Maduro. Because
I think that's hindsight. Us thinking of, if I'm going to think about that with you like that, that would just be like us thinking about it, because I don't even, you know.
That is so crazy.
Who knows? It's a wild card move. It's like totally, it's a boss move, man.
Yeah,
Trump.
Indeed. I appreciate you, Brian. Great point. It's good to hear from you, sir. Take care.
Yeah, great calls, man. I wish Ronnie well too.
Yeah.
Don't forgive your mama, Ronnie.
He says that he doesn't have anger. I don't know if
Yeah,
he
it's
did the
only,
forgiving
that's
thing.
one of them name. No, that's one of them namesake only things.
Yeah, I was thinking about him yesterday, afternoon, evening. You brought up Ronnie and this. Okay, so one of the things I noticed about him is that he's a scrutinizer. He scrutinizes my opinion, for example, or other people's opinions, and looks for inconsistency or consistency or inconsistency. And he has a surface level test for, are you consistent? Are you right? Do you play favorites? And it's like a judgment thing that he has going on. And that's just a mindset that he has, a mindset of judgment, but it's kind of a blind judgment because he's not considering that there are things that he hasn't considered or he thinks that are irrelevant that are actually relevant, So it's.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. It is a judgment. He just gets a thrill. He's just getting a thrill off of asking aimless questions to make you to just really just throw a wrench in things.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
No pun intended.
Right on. Appreciate you, man.
All right. Right on. Take care, Hake.
All right. You as well. Brian in North Carolina. Steven in Maryland is on the line over here. Steven, thank you for calling, sir. What's up?
What's up? Everything is up. Happy New Year, first of all.
Thank you, sir. Has it been that
I've
long?
since last year.
Yeah,
I haven't talked to you since last year.
You were on hold at least once or twice. I'm glad I got to you today.
Okay. I changed to go around. I want to ask you a couple questions.
Yes, sir.
Why are all the C words from the South?
Because the people from the C words from the South, you're Unkes, right? The Unkes, speaking in Pig Latin, coons. Because that's where raccoons are from. And then also...
You know what it is, what I think it is. Of course, they're used to that white man with their foot up their butt. They probably got Timberlands written on their tail.
Why are...
Because I remember back in the day, see, Jesse talked about was utopia back in the day. We had all this good stuff. We were living good. We had jobs. And we had jobs that are picking cotton. That was a good job.
Yeah.
One thing, when I went south, when I went in the Air Force at 55, I never saw a white man pick cotton. I think I told you that before.
Oh, well, they did.
I doubt it. Seriously.
No, according to Phil Robertson, the late, great Phil Robertson of Duck Dynasty, he picked cotton.
Mm-hmm.
He picked cotton, although, the whites aren't really built for the sun like blacks are. So we're not really made by God for the fields the way that you guys are quite...
Well, no.
You guys excel in the fields. You really rise to the occasion.
Why is that?
Because you got that dark black skin that can absorb all kinds of sunshine and not get hurt by the sun, for example.
Mine's not black. What do I do?
Yours is not black? Well, maybe you were built for the...
I'm not dark as
Maybe you're part white.
I had some white in my family.
Okay.
My grandfather. Because my people from Eastern Shore. We call it Little Mississippi.
Eastern Shore?
Yeah, Eastern Shore in Maryland.
In Maryland, it's called Little Mississippi. Is that because there's a lot of black people?
Eastern Shore. No, Eastern Shore.
Eastern Shore?
Part of Eastern Shore, Cambridge and Salisbury, over there. Well, you got a Republican as a representative of Maryland. He's on Eastern Shore.
Really? So a black Republican or
a white Republican?
A white Republican is in charge of... oh, Lord.
He's got district on Eastern Shore. The district he's running is from Eastern Shore. It's on Eastern Shore, rather.
Okay.
I get so tired of Ricky. Boy, I'm so sick of him. I don't know what to do.
What's the guy? Who?
Ricky.
Ricky, you talking about Rick from Hampton, VA?
Yeah, talking about black people don't build nothing. I build things.
What'd you build?
I was an electrician after I couldn't get a job as air traffic control after I got out the military.
An electrician who built what?
And houses. You had to wire the house.
Oh, you wired houses? Right on.
Yeah.
So, in other words, you help the white people build stuff?
Whoever.
Yeah.
White people, black people. Most of those black
And did
people.
you have high standards for yourself, or did they have to
contract it out.
correct you when you were kind of sloppy? Did you ever do sloppy work and you're like, that's good enough, and then the boss is like, whoosh, no, fix it?
Why would my work be sloppy?
Because you don't really care, or you're like, good enough for government work.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Did you ever do government work, or was it private contracting?
Private contract.
Nice.
It wasn't government work. No. That's why I like Jewish people, because I worked under a Jewish electrician.
Nice.
But you had to be an apprentice for about 3 or 4 years.
And were they shystery?
Were they what?
Shystery. Did they, a shyster? Somebody who like...
What is a shyster?
A shyster. Let me check.
You mean steal from people?
Yeah, give you the short shrift. Shyster.
No.
Shyster. Derogatory. A person, especially a lawyer, who uses unscrupulous, fraudulent, and deceptive...
Yeah, I know what a shyster.
Yeah.
No, he
I didn't know it was spelled...
No.
Why? German. Shyster. Shyster. Said to be from Schuster, the name of a liar whose behavior provoked accusations of Schuster practices.
And one more thing.
Yeah.
Why does all these guys from down south, all we do is tear down stuff, we don't build stuff?
Because those people look around and they see and know and appreciate white people in the proper light with no resentment. Less resentment per capita. They're a little bit more Christian down south. They're a little bit more down to earth. They don't live in the bubble of the cities.
I know about those southern preachers. Come on.
Well, I know exceptions to the rule. What do you mean by southern preachers?
Well, that's it. Southern preachers. I know about them.
What about
preachers.
them?
Jackleg preachers.
Jackleg preachers? I gotta look this up. I've heard of this phrase, jackleg.
Like down south. This is how they used to teach black people.
Unscrupulous. Okay, so a shystery, a jackleg, a shystery, unscrupulous, dishonest, lack of professional standards. That's funny. So you didn't have like a jackleg Jewish contractor boss, but you had jackleg preachers.
No, I had jackleg preachers. Yeah.
That's funny. And then there's a black.
But
dude.
anyway,
in Tumblr.
Getting back to these C words from down south, they had a code down south. You know, we had a code. We black people had their place. Ricky probably know about this. And this other guy who would follow him too. I think he said from Kentucky. You couldn't look a white man in the face. You definitely couldn't look at a white woman. Everybody was Mr. You would be Mr. James. He couldn't even call you James.
Isn't that nice?
Back in the day. That's nice.
Yeah, I think that's nice.
That's why when they're trained. That's why he's like he is now. We're no good. That's what they tell us. We're no good. We're lazy.
But it's more true today than it ever was, I think.
No, see what it is so people
it's more
from
widespread
down south
anyway.
Coming north. People down south are come up north and tearing up people's stuff. It's not the people that live up here. Because I had a nice, clean neighborhood when I was coming up. Wasn't no trash in the street.
Nice. So the Southerners would come up to the north and then start trashing the place?
That's right. They never had nothing in the first place.
That's probably because they were run out of the South. They were not welcome in the South because they were the type of people who tear stuff up, or they were restless people.
No, they wasn't restless. They had no opportunity then. But after the Civil Rights Bill and the affirmative action, which helped more white women than black people, they had affirmative action and they got civil rights and all that stuff and the voting thing. Because we couldn't vote at all up to 64.
Yeah, you could.
They had the poll tax and
you just had to be. You just had to know how to read. You could vote.
How many white people couldn't read either, but they voted.
Nice.
Nice.
Good old days.
But that's all. That's all I gotta say. But I don't know. Boy, I wish me and my boys could come down and see Mr. Ricky and take him out a little bit. Tell him how we are up here. If you go to a big city where if you go to South Chicago, I never heard so many Southern accents before in my life. I look at Art. Art isn't Art. Art from Ohio.
Yes.
Is he black?
He is indeed a tribe of Judah.
Now, do you see how his accent is?
What is his accent like? Is it a Southern accent?
From down south.
You think so?
Somewhere. Yeah.
Interesting.
He doesn't talk like Ronnie.
Ronnie. What's Ronnie talk like?
Like he's from somewhere.
Like a Yankee.
No, we don't talk like that up here.
Oh. Okay.
I mean, that's all right. Nothing wrong with coming up. Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with the beautiful South?
Yeah, don't come up here and trash the North and then go back and holler about we don't build none. We trash up stuff like, we don't do no stuff like that. It's you people coming up here. Like
I'm sure there's plenty of blame to go around.
Look, when Jesse said he went to Gary, Indiana.
Uh-huh.
Where did he get the money from to get a house? Where does mother and father get money from to get a house in Gary, Indiana? And they came out of Alabama.
I don't know. They worked. They had a good work ethic.
How they gonna work? You just can't roll up to a place and got a house.
I don't know. I don't know the situation. I don't know whether they owned or rented or what.
They must have rented somewhere.
Well, you're getting way into speculation.
No, I'm not. That's true.
Yeah, huh? You don't know. You're saying it's true, and you don't even know. You're just saying they must have.
You came from Alabama working on a plantation. How much money you got saved up that you can go up and buy a house?
You find a way.
Big now. Come on, man. How much money do you think you making picking cotton?
I don't know I don't even know the geography.
Now we're back to geography.
Well, you're talking about
in Alabama,
Gary, Indiana. You're acting like Gary, Indiana was cost prohibitive to live in the 50s,
it was up
60s?
North. It was in the city.
Huh?
It was up north and in a city.
So?
City people had jobs.
What's your point about that?
People in the city had jobs. It wasn't picking cotton. They made a little bit of money anyway.
Wow, Gary's right on the one of the Great Lakes. Is that true? Is that Gary?
It's right outside of Chicago.
So Chicago's over here. Gary's here.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he had a factory job. He said he had a factory job when he went up there.
Well, yeah. I mean, he said that he worked for, I don't know if that was in Gary, but he said he worked for Inland Steel.
It was in Gary. I listened to him, and I don't believe.
So,
I'm leaving that
Alabama. So he flew up from Alabama to Gary, outside of Chicago. Here, let me make these things bigger. Make the words bigger, font size bigger. So there's Gary. Here's Alabama. And he was now outside of Montgomery, I believe.
Yeah.
He went up to Gary, Indiana. Stayed with his mother, I guess, or whoever. And there's Chicago outside of Gary. And there's what lake? What lake is this?
He said
Lake Michigan.
He said his stepfather went up first. Then his mother brought the kids up.
Yeah.
He hadn't even finished high school, right?
I don't know. What's your point? What are you trying to say? That he was tearing stuff up too, or what?
He probably did. Throwing trash around.
That doesn't make sense. No, but what's your point? What's your point?
The point is, all the coons come from the South. Sorry.
Well,
Sorry to little children. Don't hear that.
yeah, don't repeat that word, kids. But
Right.
you mean all the good, down to earth people, basically, are from the South per capita?
No.
Well, that's what
They don't know
that's how I.
They don't
take
know
it.
how. All they do is destroy things.
Now you sound like just they're trying to copy Jesse and Ken.
That's what they said. Don't they know about it? They come to it.
That's what they say,
Isn't that
but
what they
that's
say?
about. They say that about the present day blacks.
Well, aren't they present day blacks? What, the yesterdays?
Yes, Rick and JLP are from the old school.
Yeah.
They didn't commit
All them
crimes
old
and stuff.
school. They know how Mr. Chowdy cheated them.
And you're from the old school too. You just didn't commit
That's
crimes
right.
and stuff. So old
sir.
school is not about South or North. It's about old school, raised right. And then the new brainwashed commies, which you're partly brainwashed commie. And so you're just a
I'm a
malicious.
communist.
Yeah, kind
I
of.
didn't have time in a communist. I was in the military for 30-something years.
Yeah, so you don't
right?
have time to realize that you're a communist. You're too busy
Why would I be a
judging.
communist in the military?
Because you're too busy judging the beautiful South.
I'm just judging it now. I wasn't judging it then.
Yeah.
So, but anyway,
Yeah.
I'm done. That's it for me.
All right.
I just hope those people enjoy the rest of their miserable lives.
You too.
But he's happy. That's a happy coon. Sorry. That's
Rick?
good.
You talking about Rick?
Yeah, he's happy, boy. You hear how he's talking? That's James. Ha ha. James. Ha ha.
JLP's very free and he has the joy of the Lord.
Right.
Yeah.
The devil's Lord.
Nice.
That's what the Lord he with. And he'd rather be a Democrat, as he says, than be a Republican Klan.
Whatever.
All right, well, I'm done.
All right. Take care, Steven.
Just say goodbye, you folks. Well, all the good people.
Right on.
Between the R's come on there and the C's come on yours. That's radio, please.
The racists and coons. All right.
There you go.
Take care.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Before I get back to the calls, I want to get to the super chats. Chris and buymeacoffee.com/The Hake Report. Racist Ronnie is delusional! ! There's examples everywhere of whites not being in charge. Example 1, Chicago. The Metro rail system deteriorating due to poor maintenance. The city has no money to fix it. Guess who bailed them out? The white people in the rest of the state that doesn't use the Metro. Example 2, Minneapolis. A difference between surviving and thriving. States Chris with a coffee. And you know, man, you talk with blacks who have like a reasonable moment, and it occurs to them, you know, everybody who's done me right, some of the people who've done me the most right have been whites. A white coach, a white teacher, a white boss, a white friend, a white whatever, judge. And then everybody who's hurt me the worst has been my own kind, so-called blacks. And you hear that over and over again. Thank you, Chris, with your coffee there. Trying to talk some sense into Ronnie. Cesar 3 coffee. Sup, hey, just got me a haircut. Hey, nice. And missed the last 26 minutes of your show. I will be podcasting it later. I don't have much today. Be safe, everyone. Thanks, praying hands. Dominican colored skin emoji. Thank you, Cesar, with your 3 coffees. And I had oh, hey, one more. Eric with a few. Eric states, I don't understand why you avoid addressing the brainwashing of rap culture every week during the during quote-unquote black excellence with his 5 coffees. Why do you think these blacks were riding on top of that Jeep? Why do you think they were attacking the police? Rap music. Duh! Eye roll emoji. Of course they need to forgive their mothers, but that misses the point. If someone can't see they're imitating what they see and hear in rap videos, music, and black culture, they will never see that their hate, blame, and victimhood originated with their mother. Mirror emoji. We can't address the root problem until we break through the dirt, says Eric. I don't know, man. Sometimes you can go straight to the root. Sometimes you go to this or that. I think that some people, any number of things can kind of like light a spark. Some issue where you're, oh, you're right about that. Oh my gosh. Because JLP will be arguing with guys like Ronnie or whoever. Not so much Ronnie anymore, but he'll be talking with people who are just brainwashed, and they're not necessarily arguing about rap. And JLP has never been pro-rap. He's like always called it rap crap, which I've never been a fan of that phrase. Because I grew up on Christian rap. Not that it's good either. A bunch of liberals. Is Stephen Wiley a liberal? I'm not LL Cool J or Run DMC. And the Beastie Boys have got nothing on me. Cause I don't rap junk and I don't rap mess. I'm rapping for the king. His name is Jesus. Some people say that Christians shouldn't get into rap. So tell me, what am I doing? Am I taking a nap? I want to make one thing totally understood. I want to cling to that which is good. So if you want the very best for your life, sit and listen as I rap about Jesus Christ. That was my introduction to rap music. Well, it was rapping for Jesus, but a different song. But yeah, I mean, I get that they're doing that, but they wouldn't be doing that with. You can talk about that. It was fine. I don't know, man. Maybe you see something that JLP and I don't, because it's not it's not like we're avoiding it. It's for us. It's coming out of nowhere. But I get that it is. You know, there's that guy who LFR family who was on the Fallen State. He talked about drill rap. LFR family, real name. Real name is who the HE double toothpicks is LFR family. Who is LFR is no, or it's that one guy. I'm blanking on his name, but he was on the Fallen State with JLP some years back. He was covering JLP. He was doing JLP reaction videos, reacting to JLP clips. And he talked about drill rap, how they're killing each other. It's going crazy. Yeah, blacks are into that music. When you're angry, you're into music. And when you're real angry, you play it loud. Crazy, man. Interesting. Thank you, Eric. Rap. And I did see this one. This was a... Oh, okay, cool. Nice. Right on. Real quick, this is a Ko-fi, Ko-fi, from Ricky on Zenny on the American Anchor Baby, demolishing Allen's virtue signaling, brown-nosing rhetoric. Wake up, white people. Brownie points. Giving brownies, right? Giving kissing up. People, that might be a vulgar phrase, but don't necessarily have to think of it that way, right? Don't have a visual. Yeah, totally. Wake up, white people. Zenny, Mina and mine, one of our top favorite Jews. Zenny, the Jewish black Canadian. And you can tell he's Canadian. And Alan from wherever he was, A-L-A-N, not to be confused with our Allen, A-L-L-E-N, from Michigan. Thank you, sir. let me talk with Eric in San Diego, California over here. And then I'll get back to your super chats. Eric, how you doing, sir?
Yeah. I wanted to just talk about like the brainwashing with rap music, that it's different with black people than any other race because it's their culture.
It's their whole life, huh? It's their real life.
No, it's who they are. So like in the movie Fight Club, when he blows up his apartment and then the cop calls him and he says, he like basically insinuates that it was him that blew up his apartment. He explains to the cop that apartment just wasn't a bunch of stuff. It was him. That apartment was him. He identified with everything in that apartment. You see? So to turn your back on rap culture is the death of the self, of who they believe themselves to be.
Okay.
You see that? And that's different for black people than any other race because there's no such thing as black culture anymore. Rap culture is black culture, right? So, and black culture says to defend your mother to the death. If someone were to disrespect your mother, you need to at least fight them, if not, like kill them, right? So how are you gonna see that your conditioning originated with your mother and you actually need to forgive your mother because you've taken on her victimhood? The hate that you're expressing came from your mother. You're not going to be able to see that because you're so identified with black culture, which is now rap culture, which tells you to defend your mother to the death. You see? So you have to see why. You have to ask yourself. You have to see the intentions behind all your behavior. And what I mean by that is you need to start walking around and asking why. Why am I eating this food? Why am I wearing these pants? Why am I listening to this music? Why am I wearing these shoes? Why do I drive this car? Why do I think that guy's cool? Why do I want to work this job? Why, you ask why all day long to everything. Why did I just think that thought? Why did I just feel this? And then you start to easily identify that the reason why I do all these things is because I'm identified with a rap video. It's pretty easy to see. When you see those guys riding, there's like 10 or 12 guys riding on top of a Jeep,
Yeah.
And they think they're real cool and they're going bang, bang, boom, boom. It's like, dude, you're acting out a rap video. It's so obvious. If you can't see that, you'll never be able to see that that you see through the lens of your mother. You'll never see that. If you can't see why you sag your pants is because you think rappers are cool. If it's because you didn't have a father. So those rappers are your father. You took them on as a parental figure. They are who you look up to. They are who influence your life. Why? Because that's who your mother. That's also who your mother. Your mother chased those thrills, right? That's why your daddy's not in the house. That's why your daddy's not telling you to pull up your pants. So it's really, I used to go to jail all the time. So for like 20 times. And the last time I went to jail, I was in LA and I was in this dorm with like 75 guys. And all the whites were together, all the blacks together, all the Mexicans were together. And we had a tattoo machine, we had tons of drugs, and it was nuts. But everyone acted out of fear and everyone was imitating someone else. No one was their authentic self, right?
Yeah.
So everybody acted out of fear. All the smallest guys would get the craziest tattoos. They would tattoo like their mouth. They would tattoo their upper lip and their chin with all their gang affiliations. And then so I got a tattoo down my arm that said authentic intention because I wanted to remember when I got out of there to figure out who I was and to see what, to start asking why am I doing this? Why? Because I could see in there why everyone was doing what they were doing. They were scared. They were all scared to be in the next guy to get beat up? Or, am I going to make it through this? Am I going to beat this case? Like, who's screwing my girlfriend right now? That's what's going through everybody's heads in there, and they're all trying to fit in. So when you see 12 guys on top of a Jeep and you go, why are you doing that? And so if they look in the mirror and they say, why do I do what I do? Then they can see that the brainwashing of rap culture, of rap music, has become black culture. There's no, right? And it's why it's so hard on the blacks is because the unconscious conditioning that we go through, the brainwashing, rap culture is every aspect of it. It's the genetics, it's their environment, their peers, their neighborhood, their mother, their lack of a father, and then their culture, the black culture. Rap culture is black culture. And then the media, like the music they're listening to, right? That's what's influencing them, and it is who they are. They defend it.
Sorry about that.
They defend it like they're defending their life, But so if you could just say, like, just hold on a second, chill out. Why do you think you sag your pants? Why do you have to wear those shoes? Why do you think a 12-year-old is holding up a gun in an Instagram picture? It's rap music. So rap music is the new race hustlers. During the civil rights, Jesse always talks about, like, civil rights is civil wrong. And then the blacks started being influenced by race hustlers and started listening to them. Well, who do you think they're listening to now, right? They're listening to rap music, rap culture, right? It's taken over. And how do you control people? The first thing you do is you make them emotional. You make them angry. And then you feed them suggestive messaging. And what's the easiest way to do that? Is to, a hard bass line. You feel it in your body, right?
Yeah.
And then you just insert 3 minutes over and over of suggestive lyrics that tell them to seek out, superficial pursuits. It's cool to be violent. It's cool to spend all your money on a chain. It's cool to have, several baby mamas, that's what's cool. Why? Rap music. And every week you guys have 2 hours of black excellence and you never talk about it, and you just say, oh, they need to forgive their mothers. Well, forgiving your mother, like, people can't comprehend the depths of why that's so important, right? But they can comprehend why they're sagging their pants. So if they could just see that part, then they can see that something else is controlling them that's outside of, that they've never really thought about, that maybe something is controlling me. Maybe I'm not creating my own thoughts. Maybe something else is going on that I need to figure out, right?
Interesting, man. So
when I say to get to the root of the problem, first you need to break through the dirt. You need to break through, like, what's currently. Yes, the mother is the root of the problem. Understood. Yes, they need to forgive her, but they first need to start asking why. Why am I doing what I'm doing? What and what's causing it? And it's so obvious that they're just constantly acting out rap music, rap videos, which is now black culture, over and over and over. All right.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
Take care.
All right.
I have another super chat, guys, before I get back to your calls. Jermaine says, Hake, can you loan me $5K? I have to pay $5K today. Laughing with sweat coming down, and I hearted it. Thank you for your super chat. I don't think I can. I shall not. And I don't think I can. Can you is different from will you, right? But thank you for asking, Jermaine. I don't know if I get it. I need to get my 7K. How do I get my 7K? Are they still offering 7K? 5,000, right? 5,000. Is that 5,000 Canadian dollars that you're talking about? I don't know. I don't understand it. It's interesting what Eric was talking about with how music is a temptation to identify with it. A temptation to identify with it, to feel something and change something. Tedaut bought a coffee. What kind of cologne does Steven have on? Playa Haten Ninja smells like jealousy, says Tedaut. Ted Ott. Is that short for autism, Ted? I don't know. Sorry, Tedaut. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I mean, it's a huge temptation. Music. And I noticed when I got a job, I quit listening to quite so much music. I wasn't so into music anymore. You are supposed to grow up, you know? There's people who are into music like crazy. And when you work, that kind of helps. It can kind of help. You don't have the inner discipline, you have something outer to discipline you. And thank you, guys. I don't know. You think he was jealous? Yeah, I don't know. He was definitely judgmental, bitter, nasty towards the beautiful Southern Black Americans. I think he's just judging. It's judgment, you know? My goodness. I'm going to be having to go soon. William III in California is on hold here. William number 3, William III. How you doing, man?
Happy New Year, man.
Hey, Happy New Year.
Yeah. Hey, so it was a lot of bad weather up here during Christmas.
Yeah, rainy. It was rainy down here as well.
Yeah. Remember last time I talked to you about that Seattle storm?
Yes, it was coming down.
Yeah, well, it came.
And how did it go? How did you guys fare? Floods or anything?
Yeah, it wasn't as bad as up there, but it was bad enough. They had a blackout in San Francisco, so I couldn't go home. I stayed in Santa Rosa, and all the like half the city was black. You know, every street light, no power. And, electric cars were stopped in the middle of the intersections, and all the bridges were dead stopped for 6 hours. So it was bad.
That is bad. That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I saw down in San Diego there was flooding. Was I mistaken? Was that actually San Fran?
We had, like in Larkspur, like north of San Francisco, coming from Santa Rosa, that area is like the top of the bay if you look at the map, and it's got some lowlands before it gets to the hills, and then 101 is right there, and some of that flooded, and coming through there, 101, part of 101 was flooded.
Okay. Crazy.
Well, you can imagine 101 flooded is bad. That could be a catastrophe all over the state.
Yeah.
If you close that.
Totally, man.
So,
totally.
Yeah. So, maybe the black kids, they live the rap music, and other kids, it's just entertaining for them, is what the caller was trying to point out.
Yeah. Yep. It's entertaining. It's stylish, and it's a whole identity. With us listening to rap, normal people like maybe you and me and Anchor Baby, it's an amusement. It's fun. It's cool. It's amusing. But for them, it is.
So what he was trying to say is the black kids are living it.
Yeah.
And like what is today? What's the name of the day? Black what?
Black Excellence,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was good to hear from Ken. Is that Ken? What's his name over there in Illinois?
Formerly known as Kieth. It is Ken. Ken from Illinois.
Yeah. With the exception of him, man, you have some of the most kindergarten conversations with some of the most choice black people I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
And Ronnie just has obtained a lot of information at a one time, and he likes to pick with you at it, and he's not impressive at everything. I don't know the little sneaky dig he had the other day talking about comply or die. What is that, like a dig onto Michael Brown or all these so-called engineers that Ronnie is making excuses for?
Totally. It was. I don't know what specifically he was referring to, but in general, Black Americans are non-compliant more often per capita. And they get themselves in trouble, and then they get themselves killed, and then they act like the cop may have been the problem, and sometimes the cops do questionable things, but the blacks are the ones who are just so out of control, and then they wonder why they get killed more per capita.
Then you get this Steven and Ronnie together, and then it's a headache, man. You know, and you sit up there like a little kid playing with it, and you know this stuff don't make no sense.
Yeah, that's true.
Why do you do that? Is that where you going now? Is that where your format going, that direction?
I just like
what do you think about this lady? I know you do, like the little zoo thing. Yes, I know you do. What about the woman up in Minnesota? Art hit it on the nose. Where's the news flash? You lunge a car at any cop, they will shoot that car.
Yeah. Of course.
I don't feel sorry for that woman.
Yeah.
Comply or die. There's no such thing. And how'd you like the way Delta Force went in there and took the president like he was just a baby?
That was awesome.
He just kidnapped him. And none of that Chinese equipment and Russian equipment worked. See,
I didn't know that. I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah. And China was there.
Yeah, I heard that. I had seen that. China, the Chinese diplomats or whoever, I don't know if they're diplomats, were there and shaking hands and glad-handing with Maduro. He's like, oh, I haven't seen you in 20 years. You were a little kid. And then that night, Maduro gets grabbed. So easy.
Right. Well, you know, those boats and Russia was stealing the oil, and like Trump said, we'll just keep it.
Yeah. Nice.
And it's called colonizing. It's business.
I got to wrap things up, man. I didn't realize that the time got away from me.
Yeah, well, you know, you need to do something with your Black Excellence Day. They're not going to let you have it. You see why the kind of calls that you're getting, they're trying to keep you from having your Black Excellence
Indeed.
Day.
Yeah, they don't like the truth getting out. That's for sure.
No, they don't. Will you take it easy?
You too, William. Appreciate you, man.
All right.
I got to get out of here soon, guys, but let me get to Alan in Michigan. We only have like a minute, sir. Go ahead.
I will make it brief. This defense of the Constitution, I have said in the past, I am not a worshiper of the Constitution.
Yeah.
The solution is not going to be political. I am 80 years old, and I have been in political organizations. It does not work. It's a religious solution.
Yeah.
It always is. Andrew Breitbart said, politics is downstream from culture, but culture is downstream from religion. So unless we start cleaning up our act, and Jesse is helping, and you are.
I got to go, Alan in Michigan. I appreciate you, man.
Talk to you later. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you. And thank you, guys. Peace in the Middle East, or at least in your hearts. Adios, America. Bye.